Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lotus Maid and today I'll be going over some things that your shadow self wants to say to you. Again, I did warn you that the audio and visual quality may differ, and right now I'm feeling like this is probably how I should open all of my videos. I again forgot to record an intro. I just got straight into it. You will get to choose between 4 piles with the tourmaline, the smoky quartz, the rhodonite, and the obsidian. So between these 4 piles, you can pick which one resonates with you. So without further ado, I thank you for coming. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments that you have. And then we're going to get straight into pile 1. So we have Justice, the Sun, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Before I comment on that, I just want to pull out these clarifying cards. Dream Speaking. We have Sovereign Equality and Immaculate Perfection. Already I'm seeing some sun, the sun energy, the world revolving around you kind of thing. So Justice, the Sun, and then the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Honestly, this gives me, especially because the King of Pentacles is kind of like in reverse. He's on his downside. It kind of gives me like stingy Capricorn energy, kind of like I'm doing whatever I can to make ends meet. I think this definitely has something to do with either you going against yourself kind of thing about an internal struggles, or maybe this has something to do with somebody else who has made you feel like you had to grind hard or work hard for everything that you have, or you feel like you have to prove something. Because again, I see this Knight of Swords here. Maybe somebody told you or forced you or kind of put you in a situation to where you felt like you had to work hard for everything you have, and so you kind of have a greedy outlook, I would say, when it comes to things like money, and you definitely want to be recognized for your hard work, and maybe you haven't been getting it kind of thing. So it probably has you in this position where you're kind of like questioning yourself, I think. And so you feel like I feel like you kind of go overboard in order to prove yourself. The Sun here, Immaculate Perfection. Yeah, Sovereign Equality. Yeah, I think you're not tapping into your true kind of like earthly energy here, and you know, creating from within to create outside of yourself that's actually going to give back, that's actually going to nurture, and it's actually giving back to your creativity and your mental well-being. And so it's kind of been taxing on you. I almost kind of get like Taurus energy because of this immaculate imperfection. You're kind of like judging everyone and thinking you're doing well, and meanwhile you're probably struggling, or you know, being left out of things because people just kind of don't want to deal with your judgmental energy. That's kind of like what this is giving me. It's giving me Taurus. Yeah, I would say definitely Taurus. This is definitely some earthly energy. Let's see here. What actions does your shadow self want you to take? Oh yeah, look, didn't I say you were being judgmental? What do we have here? Judgment, strength, the world. Okay, so I'm gonna amend what I was saying. I think I was kind of getting to the point, but I didn't quite get there. So, because you are a Taurus, you definitely are materialistic. You definitely are a perfectionist. You definitely you really look to the opinions of others to decide on kind of like what and how you live your life. You're a people pleaser. If you aren't a Taurus, you're a people pleaser. And so because you've been judgmental and you haven't been standing on your own strengths, your own beliefs, kind of like standing outside the box, doing what you want to, you kind of probably been having this internal battle within yourself of kind of like, should I not? I know this is wrong, but I kind of still want to do it kind of thing. And it's kind of been preventing you from doing what you want. And so with this World card here, it kind of gives me the sense of that once you let that go, you know, stop being judgmental and stop feeling like you have to be headstrong and you don't need to depend on anybody in order to get things done. You can finally start living the way you want. It's kind of like what it's giving me. And again, this is a lot of light energy that you're coming in. With the sun here, you have the Immaculate Imperfection with the solar system here. You have Judgment. Strength kind of gives me like that fire as well. So it's a lot of passion that's brewing under here that you have not been acting on, that you need to start. And stop living for everyone else. This is giving me people pleaser. I need to live in a box. I base my life on what others think. Kind of energy. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this tourmaline here. I'm gonna move everything up just so we can kind of get these healing cards in. Yeah. And so what I got for healing, I have spirit self. I have moving forward. Again, more sunlight. You are somebody who has definitely been guarded. You have not been moving towards the sun. This is giving a lot of awakening, a lot of sun summoning, a lot of go with the light, go with the flow, for sure. And then you got radical curiosity. It's funny how that just flows into each other. You have let your child like curiosity and mental inquisitiveness and outlook on the world, when you know that time when you were younger, when you didn't worry about what anybody said, you just kind of was doing what you wanted to, questioning things around you just because, stepping out of the box, just not caring if you ask a stupid, I had to do these air quotes, these stupid questions per se, just because you were trying to get your own understanding and trying to step out of your own box and kind of go with what you feel. And you really have to heal that, and you need to step forward. You really need to get out your box. You need to get your ass up. It's kind of like what this is. Stop thinking that somebody is going to make it happen for you. It's kind of like what it is. Stop going between this mental back and forth that you're kind of going through as well, and step back into that childlike curiosity that you used to have when you would just go out here and do what you wanted. Not say what you want per se, probably say it in a nicer way, because I'm pretty sure I'm reaching a more mature audience. So, you know, saying it in a nice way, but still getting your point across. You don't have to be blunt, or what's the other word I'm looking for? Not blunt, but tactful. Be tactful in what you say and do, is really like what's coming to mind here. Live for yourself. Be who you are. Stop living for others. It's kind of like what this is giving. The first step is taken within our stillness. So definitely some rest and respite here. Look within yourself. What do you really want to do? What does that inner voice inside you say? What does that inner child inside of you say? I also noticed that this has kind of like a sun thing going on here as well, with the fire of celestial, this sovereign equality. It's kind of bringing me balance. Yeah. Like, stop tapping into, I don't want to say passions is the word, but I would say stop tapping into what is easier, or what you think you know, and go for the thing that you don't know. You know? Yeah. Oh, and also don't be afraid to reach out to people to to take that lending hand. It's kind of like what this is giving me. Reach out. Don't be afraid to bridge the gap. Don't be afraid to appear weak or stupid or something like that in front of someone else. Because in whatever this endeavor that you're thinking of taking, most likely you are going to be, you know, maybe you are going to be like a fish out of water in that area. And you won't know anything until you ask. And you can't move forward until you know exactly how you want to move forward. You plot and you plan. Plot seems mischievous, but you plan and you research. And you kind of look into what you need to do. Yeah. That's definitely what I'm getting for you, number one. Or those who chose the tourmaline. I'm getting that you have been living for others. You have not been living for yourself. You have been a people pleaser. You have been dimming your own light, trying to live in this box that someone has told you you need to be in, or you felt that you needed to be in order to be accepted or liked or appreciated or whatnot. And it hasn't really served you. And it's just really depleted you, if anything, because it's really weighed on you emotionally and mentally. You need to just kind of get out of that, hit that reset button, and actually tap into what you want to do or what you wanted to do. And that don't mean you have to let go of everything that you're doing now. You can, take those small steps to get there, but definitely start inquiring. Start asking those questions. Start meeting up with those people. Start reaching out. Stop feeling like you have to be guarded or enclosed. You need to start acting on this, on what you want to do. Yeah. Because when you do something you love, everything else will fall into place. The recognition, the love, the money, it'll naturally follow. So, yeah. That's what I have to say to you, number one, those who chose the tourmaline. I hope this was helpful, and I am going to move on to pile number 2. Hello, pile number 2, or those who chose the smoky quartz. I'm definitely expecting like some anxiety things, maybe some depressive topics to come up with this just because you chose a smoky quartz. We're going to see if my intuition is right with that. I would say proceed with caution during this reading for sure. With that being said, I'm going to get right into it, and I am going to get started on which your spirit self, your shadow self, wants to communicate with you today. So we have the Tower, the Hanged Man, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Ten of Cups. So before I get started, let's see what these clarifying cards are. Dreaming layers. And we have immune system. And then ineffable delight. Yeah, this seems like this should line up about there. I'm getting some... You are going into a dark time if you're not currently in a dark time right now. Smoky quartz. I said I felt like this is going to be a heavier one. You're getting into a forced destruction. Something is making you isolate or hide away. I'm getting with like this, the Ten of Swords. yeah, I think something very unfortunate has happened to you. And I don't know if it's something, I want to say it's probably something dealing with your job. But it could also be with something just like finances wise. I'm thinking probably with this Knight of Pentacles here. Is it something health related? Have you been feeling a little weak lately? Maybe COVID has been something that has really set you back. Yeah, I feel like, okay, scratch that. It's not something to do with your body per se. I was probably just thinking that with the immune system, but this really kind of gives me like guarded, protected. And maybe you don't have that protection anymore and you need to change your outlook on this whole thing. Yeah, I would say maybe it's something with you losing finances or money. Or you stuck your neck out there for somebody who probably didn't deserve it, kind of thing. And it's set you back. It's had you reimagining things, or, you know, kind of threw your life into a different trajectory than you wanted, or forced you out the door out of some place you probably know you didn't want to be there, and you kind of didn't have a way out, and now you're kind of sitting in this rock and a hard place. And I think that's why you're kind of like in this frozen state here in the Ten of Swords, of kind of like, you know, if it's a flash freeze, you can eventually thaw out and you can move forward and you could come back stronger than ever, and you can experience this happy Ten of Cups life where, you know, everything is coming up perfectly fine, everything is full, or at least you can breathe again, you know, you feel happy in what you're doing. And it really rings that true to me because of the water of spirit as well. As you know, the Ten of Cups is also water. So your shadow self is really telling you, like, this hard time that you're going through right now is for a reason. It's on purpose. You didn't choose to move when the signs were there in front of you. So life made the choice for you. And so now you're in this difficult position. And until you kind of take that moment and flip everything on its head and look at it different, until you come out of your this kind of gives me like manic or like depressive, or the Ten of Swords, it kind of gives me like almost like hermit energy of self-isolating, or you have been forced out of a group or something like that. And until you kind of like really evaluate that and the reasoning why, you are going to stay in this destructive, unhappy place until you change that. That's kind of like what that's giving me. Let's see what actions your spirit self wants you to take. Let's see, we have the Sun. We have the Three of Coins. Yeah, you haven't been working on something. You refuse to work on something. And then the Ace of Coins. Yeah, this is definitely something to do with financial. You were choosing not to work on something, or you were getting less motivated. You weren't feeling motivated in what you were doing. Maybe you having a career change. You lost your job. Bet in some wrong stock or something, or, you know, maybe you missed the payment on a house and now they're trying to do something with it, and it's just really had you in this position where you don't like where you're sitting. But just know that with this opportunity, something good is going to come out of this. I feel with the Ace of Coins and the Sun being here, you just have to change the way you look at it. Maybe you need to, you know, save up some coins. Maybe this is a lesson you need to learn, and some financial literacy that's going to be coming up. Or maybe your harsh lesson is going to help others in the future, and it's going to help you make money, because you're going to inform others of like, hey, I found out I fell in this like little loophole, or this weird ratio of people, that if you don't have blah 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 blah, you kind of can lose everything. And it's probably going to empower you to learn something, well, to teach others. Funny I said that, right? And then sharing broken dreams. Funny, I just said something about like maybe this heartache could help you move forward and help you get money. And maybe you are going to have to shed or cry about not being on the path that you want. That it wasn't meant to work for you. That door is closed. Whatever you thought it was supposed to be, it isn't. And you just need to accept that. Or you need to accept that your dreams don't just become reality just because you want them. So you have to actually work and plan on that. You have to be in the room with certain people to make that work. Sometimes you need that lucky break. This is kind of giving me like entrepreneurial read here. I had a business, it went belly up, and now I'm out here struggling and not knowing what to do. And all my employees are out here struggling, and I feel responsible for their well-being and their health and everything else. And I don't even know what to do because I'm hanging on by a thread, and I need a minute, and I can't breathe, and I have so much going on. That's kind of like what this is giving me. There's giving and receiving and giving. So I definitely feel like this is something kind of tying back into this Three of Coins, oddly enough. Maybe you were in a collaboration with people, or in a cohort, or in some kind of network where you were probably the one who was always giving, and now you're on the short end of the stick. Let them people give back, feed back into you. Let them nurture you. Let them pour back into you, so you can continue pouring back into others. Essentially, it's kind of like what I'm getting. Also, share the place that you're in. I feel. Get back in touch with your friends, your family. Get back in touch of what actually matters to you. Get back in touch of why this whole tower moment happened, of like why you're being in the dark. Again, something definitely about a broken dream. Dreaming layers, broken dreams. It's definitely something about something you've always wished and you wanted, and it just didn't work out. And you probably worked on it and poured yourself into it, and it wasn't what it is. And you probably are starting to realize that you need to kind of like pivot or change your focus or direction. Or even just start sharing like, hey, I'm starting to have doubts about this. I want to do something else, but I don't want to start all the way over. I don't want to start completely over. It's kind of like what it's giving me. Yeah. Smoky quartz, I can see why you're dealing with the anxiety that you're having right now. I actually want to see. Why is this tower here? So I'm going to go back. I just want to get this attuned to your second choice energy. Can we get some clarity on why this tower card is here? This came right out. Yeah, you're definitely reaching a harsh end on something. You got the Four of Swords here. Yeah, you didn't rest. You had a moment or a chance or opportunity to stop. Like, you seen this coming. But for whatever reason, it was like watching a car crash. You couldn't stop. You just had to watch it. You just had to go through with it. Or you just had to be stubborn. And just thought you probably knew better. And now you're paying the consequences. Yeah. Now you're paying the consequences of just like being bullheaded. And it's coming back to bite you. It's kind of like what it's giving me. It's what it's giving me. Can we get one more clarifying card on what the smoky quartz pile 2? Ooh, look at that. All of this tried to pop out on the side here. Need to heal from. Let's see. I'm sorry, I had to reach across. Can we get one more clarifying card on what the smoky quartz, those who chose pile number 2, need to heal? What do pile number 2, the smoky quartz, need to heal? Oh, here we go. Responding and reacting. I mean, it keeps coming up, it seems like. So this responding and reacting, Lantern Oracle card reads, the only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. You can see that clear as day for yourself. I think this card summed up all of this for you. That's like the overall energy for this entire thing. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Yeah, that dream, that hope, that basket you put all your eggs in, sorry, it's cracked, it's gone, they're cooked, it's broken, it wasn't meant for you, that door is closed, you know, it's the end of the road. I don't know what else I can say about that. But it's time to move forward. Right now, this moment is critical in how you respond and move forward. That's what the sun is trying to tell you. Like, it's okay, boo-boo. It's all right. You live and you learn. It's time to move forward. We have to do. We have to create. We have to share. And you haven't been working on it. And you need to work on it. You need to work on how you respond. You need to work on how you react. You need to have a quicker reaction time because you literally seen this coming towards you. You've probably known about this for a minute. You've probably seen it coming clear as day. Or you had some kind of inkling. Let's go. So I think you definitely have the strength and the power to move forward through this. I think you definitely have all the resources. And if you don't have the resources, you know people who will be willing to help you. And that's kind of like what this sharing is coming into. So it's just time now for you to get off your ass and make it work. Take that action. Start with something. It was funny. I was just on a phone call with one of my friends and she was saying like, hey, you know, I'm falling on hard times, but one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up for a bill collector because sometimes all you really need to do is to talk to the people so they understand where you're coming from and so you can work out some kind of deal. Even if that's only pushing the bill back for 3 months, at least that's 3 months where I can breathe and I can think about how to get this money paid to them. So even if it's something little like that or just researching something, every little action counts, but it's detrimental. So yeah, that's what I got for you, Smoky Quartz, pile number 2. Like, you got this. And when you get through this hard moment, I hope, I pray, I wish that you'll be able to look back on it and laugh and be like, hey, you know what? That moment was fucked up. But one thing about me is that I got through it. I'm glad it happened because I learned so much. And this situation would normally break people, but look at me. I'm coming up perfectly fine. Yeah, it knocked me off kilter for a minute, it knocked me off my axis, but I'm back in the race. I'm back on my feet, and I'm doing okay. You don't have to be doing perfect, but I'm doing okay. So that's what I got for you, Smoky Quartz. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you heal for this. I do hope and wish for the best for you. And I would say if you're watching this right now and you're in the middle of this tower moment, or it's getting ready to happen, or you're coming up on the other side, my heart goes out to you. I definitely resonate with your pile a little bit. So I love you, and I definitely know you can get through this. Drop a heart emoji in the comments if you got to the end of this and you were on the smoky quartz pile too. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Whew, that's a little crooked, isn't it? Okay. Hello, pile 3, the rhodonites. I get the feeling this is probably going to be some shadow healing from a fucked up relationship. I'll say that. Warning, trigger warning ahead of time. Let's see if my intuition was right. If you chose the rhodonite, I just think this is going to have something to do with love. Let's see if I'm right. So just hopping into it, what did your shadow self want to tell you? We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Page of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups. I'm just going to spread these out a little bit so I can add in these clarifying cards here. And we have Victorious Silence. We have Nourishing Roots. I think these should be flipped. Nourishing Roots. And then we have Force of Nature. So those who chose the rhodonite, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you can't actually do it live, right? But I feel like this may be a childhood trauma, a broken friendship, some kind of relationship that probably isn't what you thought. And so you kind of have become this Page of Swords. I actually need to delve into why or what this Page of Swords, what's their message that they have for us. I need to dig into that. What message does this Page of Swords have for us? I just want to get this deck attuned to your 3rd power energy here. So, can you tell us, with those who chose the rhodonite, pile 3, what is this Page of Swords? What is their message for us? What is this Page of Swords message for us? What is the Page of Swords message for those who chose the rhodonite, pile 3? What's the message for the Page of Swords for those who chose the rhodonite? What is the message the Page of Swords have for those who chose the rhodonite? Okay, let's see here. Did anything else flip over? No, it's just this one card, huh? 9 of Swords. So anxiety. What have you been feeling anxious about, pile 3, my rhodonites? And it seems like you are a force of nature to reckon with. Sorry, that's actually one of your cards. It seems like you actually have the power to get through this stuff. You've been retreating into yourself. Something mentally has been like blocking you. You are stuck in the past on something, because the cups here, emotionally, you're stuck on something emotionally in your past. It has just been blocking you mentally. And I think it's probably also been blocking you, like kind of like creatively or at work. I kind of feel the passion is no longer there. Let's see. I need some more clarity for you all. It's another Tower moment. More swords. The King of Cups. Yeah, it's definitely something emotional for you all. Knight of Cups and the Five of Swords. So it reads to me like you need to let something in with this Tower here. This King of Cups, of course, is kind of like Pisces is Aquarian energy. So again, you have a lot of water and air energy going on here. So definitely something emotional is affecting your mental. I don't know if it's something with anxiety, if it's depression, or if it's something kind of more along those serious lines. If you ask me, ADHD is pretty serious because you can't concentrate kind of thing. Some other kind of like medical disorder or a function is coming up for me is also a thing. Let me look at this one. The Four of Swords. Yeah, some rest hasn't been happening. You probably haven't been sleeping very well either, I get. This is something pretty heavy that's been on your mind that you are really struggling with. And emotionally, you probably really need to deal with it because it's keeping you from being the boss that you are or that you know that you can be. I would say one good thing is that it looks like whatever it is mentally that has been holding you up, you're soon going to get through it. It's eventually going to end. But you can probably expedite that, speed that along if you work with those emotions. You need to tap into kind of like whatever terrible situation happened to you that has blocked you emotionally, that you keep remembering, that you keep playing over and over in your head, that's blocking you from sharing the love and light that you have. You really need to examine that. You need to balance those scales again. You need to look at it from a different angle or something. You know what? I'm not even going to say that because that feels even kind of harsh to say look at it from a different angle. But maybe you need to reach out to someone to kind of like work through this, or you need some kind of like creative release or something to get through it. Yep, creative power is really blocking you creatively, whatever this situation is, and it's really been hindering your work. I feel it's been hindering everything else. And you also have the eternal gatekeeper, which says acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. So maybe someone has like taken what was rightfully yours or taken something from you that you did not give willingly. It kind of reads like violation to me, I would say is the word. So if that is triggering, again, sorry, I'm just kind of picking up what I'm getting in the cards. It just kind of reads like violation. You have been violated. Somebody has trespassed your barriers, your walls, your, blown past your trust. Something you gave somebody that was really sentimental to you, or that really mattered to you, and they just kind of treated it with disrespect and didn't care and just kind of did what they wanted to, or betrayed you or something along those lines. And in that case, I can definitely understand why this has been kind of like steady, constantly replaying in your head and blocking a lot of things. So I definitely think some help is needed in this situation. Reaching out to a therapist, a friend, start journaling, just really looking internally into your emotions and kind of getting that out so you can move forward. Because it definitely reads like heavy. This reads deep shadow wound. So what I'm doing right now, I just want to get another healing card for you because I feel like you definitely deserve one. Just getting this attuned to your third energy here. We shuffle it 3 times. That's what I like to do. Can I get one more healing card for those who chose the rhodonite? Can I get one more healing card for those who chose the rhodonite? Can I get one more healing card for those who chose the rhodonite? Just one more. One more healing card for those who chose the rhodonite. Or the rhodonite. Oh, I got 3. So let's see here. Distorted desire. Yeah, you're running from something. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. I also have inner integration. You have not been feeling in alignment with yourself. And then I also have voice. You are here to be known, so speak and be seen. Yeah. Again, very heavy. I did feel like this had something to do with some lost love here. So I definitely see why you chose the rhodonite. You're like in need of some love, some care, some self-care, of being heard and listened to, of resting, of some respite, somebody believing you, whatever that is. Another heavy pile. Wow. Heart goes out to you. Again, I hope this didn't trigger you too much. I hope you stopped where you needed to, or paused, or whatever you needed until you got back to yourself. I definitely understand, or if you just cut out of this outright. Wish I could hug you, I would say, is the thing. But I would say definitely if you have any close friends, or if you have that one close friend or somebody you can turn to kind of like vent or just tell your story, just to kind of like work it through so you know it's not in your head kind of thing. Is really what's kind of coming up for me. Yeah. I would say whoever this person was, karma gets them. I won't say anything too much outside of that. But, karma comes around. The karmic law works. And that you don't let this stop you from shining. You don't let this dim your light. You don't let this define the rest of your life. Stop letting it define the rest of your life. Tap into the inner strength that you have, because you are definitely, can I say a survivor, or, you're just a badass and you're going to get through this. I hope you get through this. I want you to get through this. Share your story, tell others, find your voice in this, in whatever form that is, and let your creativity flow. Stop letting this hold you back. Let your creativity flow. Let this go. Stop running. Get yourself together. In whatever way that is, whether that's, speaking to professional help, or, just leaning on that friend, or, taking that vacation and blowing $1,000 just because. So it makes you feel better kind of thing. Retail therapy is a thing and it really should be covered. But, you know, joking aside, I'm trying to lighten it up, sorry. But yeah, I hope this helps. I definitely want to keep up to date on what this is. I definitely hope you stop running from this and you tap into everything that you are, because you are everything and everything is in you. So yeah. And that's all I have for you. Pile number 3, my rhodonite. Very heavy. Again, sorry if I triggered you. Did not mean to, but I did warn you. And I do hope this was informative and it was healing. And it definitely kind of helps you get on, you know, on step with where you should be heading, or where you can be heading, and where you can go, and that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, whatever this betrayal was, yeah, just stop letting it hold you back. And with that, I will move on to pile number 4. All right, I don't know if this is cricket. I'm sorry. Everything is cricket right now. So welcome back and hello, pile 4. Those who chose the obsidian, the guardians, the volcanic, the overreactors. I definitely get like this is going to probably be some badass energy coming out here. These going to be probably my warriors. And I definitely would like to end this on a lighter note after heavier readings. So with that in mind, I am going to get started with what your shadow selves want to say to you. Look at that. What already came out, the 9 of Wands. Yeah, these are my kick-ass people. 3 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. I have 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles. And just for clarity's sake, we have covetous designs and unseating anxiety. I think that's telling you right there. Those eyes look very serious, don't it? Ugh. Let's see. Sorry. Those eyes mean business, don't it? That looks scary in itself. So here I am with my pile 4s, and just to be honest, if you notice it's a sound quality difference in the sound. I did warn you ahead on my very first video that you may hear some differences, but I will also give you a brief explanation of why. For you, pile 4, I had to re-record the audio. I happen to be staying at a friend's house, like house sitting, and I was reading the cards, and I kept feeling like a presence in her house, and I was telling her about it later, but that's neither here nor there. It distracted me, and it just kind of like messed up the whole sound with this one, so I just had to kind of re-record it and give you your message. So for me, yes, when I initially got the 9 of Wands, it made me feel like, okay, yeah, like I said, you, my pile 4s, you are the kick ass, but you are kicking ass and fighting for things that you have no business fighting for. I think what your shadow self is wanting to relate to you is that you are clearly measuring your worth, your value to like your bank account. You are measuring your worth and your value to you are steady comparing what you have and what you don't have to others. I don't know if this is like just from social media. I don't know if this is something just kind of like you've grown up and you've always kind of been materialistic, but like materialism, being envious are like the 2 big words that keep jumping. Materialistically envious of things, of items, of want, of maybe even greed could be a thing. Like you're fighting for things and you're bullying your way into situations that is going to help reap materialistic value for you instead of actually something that's fulfilling you emotionally or spiritually, or something that you really need. Is just things that you want. You're filling a lot of things with want, and I think maybe you have even dealt with some things where you have been in certain situations, maybe where you've taken the spotlight or stepped on people's toes or claimed credit for things that you had no business claiming, or um you had no business claiming or owning the rights to. And so for me, my power force, to me, it just seems like you are very envious and covetous. It literally comes out with the diamond, covetous designs, and then you have the watchful eyes, the dark watchful eyes. To me, it just really screamed like you are always comparing what you have to someone else, and if they have something that you want or that you feel like they undeservingly got something that you wanted, you are fighting to have it. Like, granted, some people in this world probably are getting opportunities and things like that and stepping into shoes that they have no business filling, or they're too big for them or too small for them or whatever, and it's like, move out the way, you're being greedy. That could have definitely went to somebody else. And I think you are following in the same footsteps, but at the same time, you are like casting stones and hiding your hands because you want to be where they are, and you're fighting and working to be in this position, but you don't belong there either. And so that's kind of like what the Nine of Wands is giving me. Like, you're just fighting to be in places and things, or fighting for materialistic value, fighting for people to recognize you, and to see you through all of the material worth and items and things that you have garnered. And so just kind of going into, you had 3, 4, and 5 of Pentacles, which makes me think that you haven't gotten to the 6th step of sharing. You are able to work on it. You'll go after what you want. You will make those partnerships and those networks in order to get the money, but you aren't quite ready to start sharing it. And that 5 of Pentacles kind of driving home, because if it's in the positive, that means that you are kind of like giving, you share with it. Whereas this is in reverse, it shows that, to me, you are being more like stingy with it. You are only spending the money or coin when it matters, in the way of like, is this helping me look like I'm living a certain lifestyle or doing a certain thing? So yeah. And then with the swords, it's literally like just showing you holding on to something that doesn't really resonate with you, and just keeping a tight grab, just kind of like being in a way and being greedy and hoarding. So yeah, I don't want to sound preachy and make it seem like, money isn't a thing, or that, you don't have to do, or sometimes we are in certain situations where, you know, we have to make the choice that's right for us in order to get to the next point in our life. And sometimes we do things that we don't want to do for money, or do horrible things, or, not horrible, or but doing things that don't actually resonate with us in order to get money, because that's just kind of like the world that we live in. But some things I feel like you probably could have avoided, is kind of like what I get with this. Like, you just kind of like gambling. Like, I feel like you just are careless with money. You are just careless when it comes to materialistic things. You are not intentional. You are not purposeful. Um, you know, in actuality, I just want you to hear this, because I feel like this is a message you need to hear. There's definitely enough in the world for things to go around, but because we have a few greedy people that are, kind of like doing this whole supply and demand thing and making things seem scarce, um, and just kind of like over reaping things. Look at our environment. It's just kind of like, okay, sis, you don't need that. And so the Palace of Cups is what brings that to mind, because it reinforces that discontent. It reinforces like, I'm not happy with what I have. I'm not truly happy, but I'm happy that I have everything that money can buy. I can get anything that money can buy. Great, good for you. Love your acumen. Love that your go-getter attitude. Love that you go out there and you strive for what you want. But is it really what you need? Is it really feeding you? You get what I'm saying? And so again, just further looking into this and looking at the Knight of Wands, and then you have the Page of Coins. Again, is bringing back that fiery energy of kind of like, especially because your Page of Coins came up in reverse. It's just giving me further confirmation of like you are always trying to look for the undercurrent or lowbrow way of gaining money, of getting what you want, of um wanting what you want now and not being patient on what is actually meant for you. And it's probably led to some hard situations to where you are you aren't satisfied. You're discontent. You're not happy. You are never going to be satisfied because you're always putting yourself, you're always wanting what the next person had. You are always wanting the next big thing instead of just taking a step back and being like, okay, well, I actually don't need that. Like, that isn't actually for me. That doesn't resonate with me. And I get it. Everybody probably isn't as spiritual and things like that. But we are all of spirit. I know, got a little crazy there. But I think it just speaks to, even though you yourself may not be a spiritual person, or you may not understand why you are feeling dissatisfied, or why this isn't resonating, or why do I have to work 10 times as hard for da 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 da. It's just a lot of other things and hoops that you have to jump through. And I think you are aware of it, but I think you also aren't being aware that there are some spiritual ties that you have to pay. It's kind of like what I get. And so with the messaging for what the Page of Coins is delivering with the wheel, it's kind of like you are on this literally like hamster in the wheel. You are going to get your good luck, but also know that the karma or the benefits that you are reaping in, know that they're also going to come with bad things. And I think when things get bad, you kind of turn into like exploitation or trickery in order to get what you want, whether that's exploiting yourself or exploiting the system or whatever it may be. So yeah, that's kind of just like what I was getting from like with the Page of Coins and the wheel with the Knight and everything. And so getting into your healing cards, you had perspective and like healing light and confusion and the unknown. All of this resonates. So like you don't really know what you want because you have always chased what you felt like you have always chased it what you felt like you had to do or you probably needed to do in the moment, and you're always kind of like circling around for those quick gains. You're always circling back and getting and looking for kind of like a get rich quick scheme. And to me, it really does speak to your it really does speak to your mental dexterity, your quickness, your quick thinking. I feel like is the word that I really want to use. Kind of just like, it really speaks to your acumen that you can spend on a dime and you can probably be anything, be anywhere, be anyone in order to make things work. But are you truly happy at the end of the day? Is it really resonating with you? And I think at the end of the day, it started to confuse you because you're all over the place and you don't really know where to look, where to nail down, where to go from here. Because you're in this like confusing space of I'm not really feeling happy. Like, why is nothing satisfying me? Like, I have everything. I can get whatever I want, but I'm not feeling really happy right now. I'm feeling very discontent. I don't like this space I'm in. I don't like anything around me. I really want to do this, but that's not really going to help me get money. For you, I would say I feel like you can get money doing anything, but are you actually in it? Because obviously you've been making money and you have, and your heart hasn't been in it. You haven't really been feeling passionate about it. You haven't really felt attached to it. You have been feeling discontent. You just been doing what you have to do. So I feel like you can make money doing anything. It's just how you go about it. So I think you just need to look at a different perspective. Like, okay, money isn't everything. Having all these cars isn't everything. Having a million houses and charging $3,000 in the city and is really nothing else around here is crazy. I shouldn't really be charging that, but because I can, I will. And it's like you don't really have to get into all of that. You don't have to do unnecessary things. You don't have to battle. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Are you happy at the end of the day? Have you proved something to yourself? Is what I get for you for your reading pile for. So yeah, I think it's just a thing of, do you really want this or not? And I think once you really discover what your passions are, and that you stop chasing things just for the financial gain or the materialistic value of it, because all of this stuff could be gone tomorrow in actuality. So it's like, what is really resonating with you? What is really bringing you purpose? What is really making you feel fulfilled? What is going to leave a mark on this world at the end of the day? So yeah, that's what I get for you, Pile 4. I definitely hope this has helped, and that it puts you in the right frame of mind to get out here and live to your fullest. And with that, Pile 4, that's all I have for you. I thank you for coming in and listening and taking your time to click on my videos and hear these readings. I say if you definitely got to the end of this, put a smiley emoji or an angel emoji in the comments, and I will see you all on the next one.